Hamas has come back with something. So they're calling it like semi-positive, but it wasn't like a complete I agree kind of thing. That's what I thought was the latest.
No, they came back with adjustments to it, but Netanyahu is rejecting those adjustments. It's still positive, but Netanyahu did reject those adjustments.
Okay. Well, I'll be interested to see. I mean, I think Trump posted something like, here's the deal, if you don't take it, then the next deal's going to be worse or something like that. So I'm curious if he'll view that adjustment as a no or if he'll be totally fine with it. I don't know. Has he responded? I don't think he had. But to answer Amir's question, I mentioned about that Israel's a democracy, and so if there was a hypothetical where Hamas would leave power and Netanyahu would leave power, I'd be all for it. I'd make that trade in a month.
Yeah, but I mean, where do you draw a line? How is it a democracy? It's not a democracy, right? It's you have the Jewish supremacy inside Israel. I mean, the self-determination is exclusively unique to the Jewish people that was passed in 2018. How is that a democracy?
There's Arab Israelis who are voting in Israel.
Yeah, but we're talking about the full self-determination, not a partial self-determination. You're talking about a self-determination that's like partial at 10-20%. There's a lot of places inside Israel, they can't even build their properties. You know, only the Jewish folks can.
Okay, but weren't you just talking about how Netanyahu would have to leave power and things like that? I'm totally fine with that if it solves the problem. It's fine with me.
No, I know, but you brought up the democracy. I'm like, how is it a democracy? I know they keep on promoting this idea that we have the only democracy in the Middle East. I don't see any democracy there. It's like one side has the upper hand. I mean, the one group of people, right? The other group of people, they're like second class.
Well, the Israeli Arabs are voting. You can argue that the Palestinians aren't. That makes sense to me. The Palestinians are not voting. They voted in their own election for Hamas, and then they haven't been offered the opportunity to vote again since, because unfortunately Hamas hasn't held an election. But I'm with you.
Israel is the one that's voting
You think Hamas wants to hold an election?
I gave you the situation last time. I said it was Israel that's stopping it, not Hamas.
Yeah, I remember that discussion. We meant to disagree on that one. I don't think Hamas is trumping at the bid to have an election from what I can see. That's okay.
So I gave you an example of the PA. They didn't allow the PA to hold the elections because they didn't allow the Jewish votes in them.
Even the Gazans don't legitimize the PA at this point.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about before. Why didn't Israel allow the votes from Jerusalem?
I don't know. I need to understand that better before I comment. One way or the other. I'm not. But anyway, here's the point. I think that you can ignore my democracy comment. It doesn't really matter. I think what I heard you say was that Trump doesn't think that Netanyahu should stay in power. I actually haven't heard that. But if that's the case, if the peace deal involves, Netanyahu and Hamas both leaving power, sign me up. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that these are a lot of Zionist talking about that they're not voting in, and it's always Israel that has to stop it. They're willing to settle down. They're willing to do the two-state, this and that. It's always Israel, always. But let's see what happens, with the ceasefire. I don't know if it's going to go through because we've seen time after time, that these people have violated ceasefire.
I hope it does. I hope it works. I don't know.